I'm Katie Collenbach, a statistician in the Upper Midwest Regional Field Office. The next section we are going to talk about is Section C, Livestock Inventory, Numbers Sold and Removed, and Cash Sales. The purpose of the livestock section is to record inventory, ownership, removal, and cash sales data for the operation. Livestock removals and sales are used to develop estimates of the value of livestock production. Collected information allows us to better understand the various compositions of operations with different types of livestock. This data helps us assess trends in the livestock industry. For column 2, record the total number of livestock on the total acres operated on December 31st, regardless of ownership by category. Include all livestock under a contract or on a custom basis if they were on the acres operated. 4-H and FFA livestock raised on the operation should be included. Also include any livestock on short-term pasture or crop residue grazing to be returned to the operator's acres. Exclude any livestock owned by the operation but being custom fed on another separate operation. These livestock will be reported later in Section D. In column 3, record the total number of owned livestock operated on December 31st. The number reported in column 3, owned inventory on hand, should be less than or equal to column 2, total inventory on hand, regardless of ownership. In column 4, record all livestock and animal products that were sold on the open market, delivered under a marketing contract, or removed under a production contract from the operation during the year. Do not include animal deaths. They do not add a value to production. Exclude movement of livestock to short-term pasture or grazing and return to the operation. In column 5, record cash sales of livestock or animal products. Marketing expenses like checkoff, drying, and storage should be subtracted to get final cash sales. Marketing expenses are reported in Section H, question 34. CSA sales are reported as cash sales, not on contract, and should be included here. Exclude marketing contract sales and production contract payments, as those are recorded in Section E. We do not want to double count the sales. Also exclude cash sales of value-added products like cheese and meats. These are reported in Section G. Here are a couple general reminders. If livestock were reported, livestock-related expenses should be reported in Section H expenses if they were paid by the operation. If livestock were owned, livestock market values are reported in Section I, farm assets. For cattle, cull cows are no longer part of the breeding herd and should be reported in question 2C, other cattle and calves. Beef and dairy heifers that have not calved need to be reported in question C, other cattle and calves, and not in either beef or milk cows. All other cattle reported in question 2C include the cull cows and heifers mentioned above, as well as bulls, cattle on feed, and calves. Question 2D is the sum of the amounts reported in questions 2A, 2B, and 2C. Here's a little joke for you. What do you call a milk cow that produces no milk? It's an utter failure. Now on to Section D, other operations growing, feeding, or raising livestock for this operation. The purpose of Section D is to collect information about livestock owned by the operation and raised by another producer under contract. This section helps provide a complete picture of farm income and loss. Receipts or sales, expenses, and assets are only reported in Section D. They are not reported anywhere else on the questionnaire. Here are 3 examples of contracts. A cow-calf producer weans calves and has another producer raise the cattle to a certain weight for them. A dairy operator pays another producer to raise dairy replacement heifers until they return to the dairy for milking. A hog farrowing operation contracts out with another hog operation to raise their weaned pigs up to slaughter weight. In column 1, record the type of livestock under contract to be raised by another operation. Be specific. Do not just write in hogs or chickens. Use finishing hogs, laying chicken pullets, dairy heifers, etc. This will help in the coding of column 2. Use the respondent booklet and look up the commodity code for the specific type of livestock. Record the 3-digit livestock code in column 2. In column 3, record the estimated market value of contracted commodities on other operations on January 1st. In column 4, record the estimated market value of commodities placed on contract E operations during the year. If there are multiple arrangements, or if arrangements exist for more than one commodity, record each arrangement on a separate line. If needed, please use an extra sheet of paper. Be sure to label the extra sheet of paper with the operator's identifiable information. In column 5, report the total amount paid to contractees. This includes labor fees, management fees, and reimbursements for expenses. In column 6, record the gross receipts for the commodity sold or removed under contract. This value can be 0 if the commodity was not sold but returned to the target operation. An example of this would be dairy heifers that were raised off the dairy operation but returned to be milk cows. In column 7, record the market value of any unsold commodity remaining under contract on December 31st. As a general reminder, remember that all data reported in Section D is not reported anywhere else in the questionnaire. This is also referred to as the in the fence rule.